Hi guys, this is Prometheus Bushcraft. Today I want to share with you some information about this knife. This is the Glock 78 model military. It's a military knife used by the Austrian, the German and also some other European militaries, but it was exported to India as well. So it's a world famous military knife. This is a true piece of history. Look at this. Look at this. How beautifully made. It's an Austrian quality made knife. The steel is a spring steel. 55 Rockwells. It's excellent for military purposes. Because as the Glock website says that this knife was designed specifically for the military, to open crates, to use it for tactical combat purposes. It's excellent for knife fighting, as you can see. You can also throw it if you choose. If that's your final weapon out in the field. It's the tool on which you can trust your life. So, as you can see, it's a multifunctional knife, also good for bushcraft as well, if you decide. About this spring steel, to be more specific, I have contacted the Glock company about the characteristics of this steel. What kind of spring steel it is? Is it a 51 CRV or like Victorinox? And they've said that the composition is still a secret today, but it was designed specifically for -40 Celsius degree environment in the Alps, for example, or also in Siberia. You can use it. This polymer handle, it's specifically made by the Glock, the same material, same plastic and kind of rubber feeling material which was made for the Glock pistols, which made the Glock company world famous. The following we are going to test this knife in more depth and keep continue with our video. And this steel, this spring steel, the name is interesting because it was made in 1978, and you know, in the 1970s here in Europe, but also in America, they didn't care about steel names. They didn't have any names like LMAX or S30V or so on. It's just a spring steel. And you know, you should also know that spring steels are the best in Austria. Always Austria makes the best quality spring steels even today. So it really doesn't matter how we call this steel, it's a steel. Back then they've called carbon steels many times as spring steels. Today that's why in the forums, if you read, you will read that it's 1095. Well, it's not 1095, but kind of similar. And one characteristic of this spring steel is that it's very easy to maintain even out in the field. As you can see, this is a sharpening steel made by Victorinox, and it's quite enough for 55 Rockwell knives. This is a 55 Rockwell. Well, many knife nerds would say that this is not enough. This is a joke, because today, you know, the bushcraft knives, they are made in 62, 61 Rockwells, but I have to tell you that since I do this hobby, in the last 5 years, as I've experienced many types of steels, I've came to the conclusion that this 55 Rockwell is the perfect balance between hardness, toughness and edge retention as well. Just think about it, that If you are a soldier out in the field, you cannot allow that your knife will break because it's 61 Rockwell. 55 Rockwell is softer and is easier to maintain. Like this. Couple strokes and your knife is ready to use. So we have resharpened it, rebent it actually with the sharpening steel, and let's see. Can you see it? Look at this. It's shaving sharpness. But let's see a real test. Imagine that you are lost in the forest as a soldier and you have to prepare a shelter, or you have to make fire, or you have to make a trap. Let's see. Let's make a sharp stick. Look how it bites the wood. Look at this. Just a demonstration for this knife, but as you can see, it cuts excellently, despite that it's a very cheap knife. This 55 Rockwells. Let's see another try. If you do not have any fire steel or some lighting equipment, it's very important to make a feather stick. You can light it up easily. Look at this. If you use the full angle of the knife, you can get the maximum. This knife is a quality-made European knife. Highly recommend it. Let's see a harder test. Let's see some buttoning. As you can see, it does the job. Glock 78, made in Austria. Thank you. And this this can be removed, and you can make a bayonet from this field knife, or the Steyr AUG assault rifle issued in the Austrian military. These three broke my Saremu fixed blade knife. This dead tree, but I have returned, and I will test this Glock bayonet. Its penetration is excellent. It dives deep in the wood. It was designed mainly for combat purposes. You can choke up, do some detailed work. If I grab like this, it's precision cutting you can make. Look at this. to be honest, it's one of the best knives ever tested in the Prometheus channel. Thank you. Just one more thought about the handle material. You see that it's a common problem in the among knives that they make rubberized kraton, or the factory one uses this thermorun. But none of those rubberized handles are good because they can wear off very easily. I've used, for example, the SRK, cold steel SRK, and its kraton handle is really in a bad condition. G10 is a good material, but G10 can be a problem if it's not textured enough. But this I feel that this material, this Glock material, this is a really good middle road between the two. It's tough like G10, but it's also soft like a rubber kraton. So I really hope that cold steel guys watch this video, because they can learn a lot from the Glock company. I wish they could make a cold steel SRK with this handle material. And another assault. You know, cold steel is very famous about its military grade knives. Recon 1, American Lawman. Those are good knives, but if you think about it, why do you need a folder if you are in the military? Well, it's portable, but for many purposes, a fixed blade knife like this, which is small, easy to carry, and is stronger than a folder. So why do you spend $100 for a folder when this Glock knife can do the same job, and it's also cheaper and tougher? So I say this to the military personnel: you should buy a Glock knife. Thank you. But I also really like this mindset of Glock, that because of the very cheap but multifunctional spring steel and the material, this Glock handle material, you can produce it very quickly in large numbers. You can equip more than 100,000 soldiers with this knife in couple days. So that's why you should not say that it's a cheap 55 Rockwell bullshit knife. No, it's not. It was designed for military purposes in industrial standards, according to the best Austrian industrial standards. So I highly recommend this knife. Let me share you my final thoughts on this Glock 78 field knife. As you have seen in the previous videos, we really prefer traditional steels, which Manley makes, which Victorinox makes, but also what Glock makes, because I've said it to you many times before, but I have to repeat myself once again, that you can be a knife nerd, but if you are a newcomer to this knife collecting and bushcraft and survival hobby, you should not believe what some knife nerds say, that you know, you should buy Elmax, you should buy super steels, because if you buy such a knife like this Glock fixed blade or Victorinox folding knife, those knives will excellently perform and do the everyday task what you need. And even if you serve in the military, think about it, that this knife, this blade form was tested for 120 years at least. Because if you take a look at First World War knives or Second World War knives, their shape is the same. It's the modernized version of those older bayonets. This blade form was tested by the European militaries, and you don't need any more. Thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day.